Yeah, I'm pretty sure those check marks are actually supposed to be square root symbols, but and kudos to them for making what they could of ASCII. Hey, I remember that level. It's my controller hitting the microphone. We seen that bouncing enemy? Anyway. Hello everyone, this is Arafel. I'm playing Commander Keen in Aliens Ate My Babysitter, otherwise known as Episode 6. Alright, last time we ended outside Bassa, which is presumably the Bloog Aeronautics and Space Administration. There's also another guard post looking thing to the left, but yeah, I think we cleared everything back here. Yes. Yeah, that was Bloog Town. Had nothing of importance. That looks like a bunch of chopped down trees back there. Man, that even looks like the NASA logo. Yeah. Bloog Aeronautics and Space Administration. Keen rockets in. Yeah, we've heard this music before. Yeah, there's a platform kind of stuck up there. So presumably we will find a switch somewhere that will get that moving better. Yeah, right here. Yeah, is there more up? It seems like this is the top of the level. It's not scrolling up. Now, there's a gem, so we're almost certainly going to need that. SGAU. Oh, it's one of those guys. I don't like those guys. And then they abbreviate to BASA in the retry screen. Honestly, makes sense. Yeah, like I've mentioned, those things remind me of the rocks in Keen 4 that throw themselves at you. But I don't think it's possible to stun them. I think they just lunge at you and they're an obstacle forever. Which is not fun, especially with how fast they move. I mean, if they were trying to be sneaky like the rocks were, that would make them not as bad. Then you could just kind of look at them, and they'd stop moving. No. These are just moving all the time. Alright, so we're in Basa. Yeah. Why did it jump against the wall again? Yeah, but you see what I mean? They're kind of hyperactive, hard to predict. Yeah, there, it jumped against the wall instead of coming towards me. And I have no idea why. Okay, we'll wait for the platform to come around again. I feel like I need to kind of bait it out now. Hope that worked. It's lucky to react that fast, but it worked. Yeah, that switch down there probably activated the one to the yellow key. Just wait for that to go back the other way and hopefully get out of the picture. Good enough. Doesn't look like there's much of anything up here. But the angled ceilings behave a little weird. Yeah, I thought that looked suspicious. Okay. Not what I was expecting. I think when they do that, they just keep sliding until they hit a wall, though. That was not well thought out. Yep, that'll get it out of the way. Because again, it keeps going until it hits a wall. Yeah, and I suspect they stop moving once they're off screen. By more than a bit, anyway. Can't wait for it to go away. this time, hit the switch and save before going to the wall. And was that a platform coming out of it up there? Yep, there's a platform now. So I probably want to ride this. And not just jump blindly into invisible passage. Okay, that makes this safe. Yeah, I'm not sure how you get those. Though, no, I think you can ride on top of the jumpy things. As long as their legs are down. Yeah, what's over to the left, though? Okay, another safety platform. We're making this place more OSHA compliant. And it looks like that's all I missed by not going past there, so no big deal. So yeah, that secret passage is actually where you need to go, it looks like. Oh, there's one of those things that we saw on the score screen. 4 hits on those. Let's keep looking around. This keeps branching out. Okay, we need a blue gem here to open this, presumably, which looks like it might be the exit. It also looks like the blue gem is down. So let's go up first. Well, that looks pretty hazardous, so we'll save. Not actually sure what those do, other than probably being death on contact. Yep, that's what those do. I guess if we saw them on the high score screen. Yeah, I get the impression those things don't see well. Okay, I'm not sure I can stun that. It doesn't look like it's reacting at all. Okay, here's a green gem, so apparently we did need to come here. And it seems like those aren't actually that good at noticing you, which is good. Not quite sure how to handle this. Can I jump over it? Not like that. That certainly didn't work. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any other way around either. Yeah, that certainly didn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Just maybe wait for it to do its glasses thing over there and keep jumping in and out. Yeah, I think it reacts to noise. But it didn't react that time. Yeah, if this is what's expected of you, it seems awfully unfair. Oh, come on. No, don't have enough time to get two in. Yeah, and it's not like you have any other tools in your arsenal, really. This feels like where you want to throw a rock or something to distract it, but no, that's not something you can do. Excuse me. Hitboxes on these are kind of... You know what, forget it. I got past this once, let's just do it that way. I don't feel like you're supposed to be able to do that. In any case, this is now open. And this is the exit. And... is that just the whole level? Seems like it. Okay. Gotta say I'm a bit underwhelmed. Felt like there should have been more to that. Alright, guard post 3. Looks like you got parts of it up in the air. Pretty nice background, though. Yeah, I do want this done just in case they try to push me into something deadly later. Well, I saw movement. Yes, I did. And the base is doing that thing. Okay, we need a red gem, we need a green gem. There's red. That's simple enough. Yeah, and I feel like I have to stun them because sometimes they drop gems. Alright, got that up. We want a yellow gem for here. Looks like a lift activated to the left, but there's more this way. 3 points. Is that jump makeable? Just barely. But I don't know if I can get higher. Give it one more try. Yes. Okay. A bunch of points and some extra shots. We're actually getting not low, but under 99. Right. I don't have a gem. There's pizza there. Not sure how you'd get to that, unless something activates one of those lifts. No, I think you need to jump on that, have it start falling, and then bounce off to the side. Alright, well, there's a Bloog with a club, which makes it relatively dangerous. I think they're better about tracking you than the regular ones. And they definitely take more to take down. Okay, this goes up and down now. Still need a good angle to get to those, though. And a good bounce. That was not one of those. There we go. Free-ish pizza. Yep, like I said, sometimes you need to shoot them because sometimes they have gems. And as far as I can tell, there's no distinction that you can see between the ones that do and the ones that are just in the way. That was green. I think yellow was up here. So I'm not sure it matters which way the switch is once it's activated in the first place. I feel like there could be something in the wall here. No, there's not. Yeah, and there's a green gem. Again, as far as I can tell, there's no discernible difference between those two until you actually stun them. Alright, let's save again here. Not that there's been much danger, but you never know when that might change. Yeah, at some point we're going to open up the underground. Or not. Yeah, this doesn't feel right. I could just exit and move on, but it feels like we're missing a big chunk of the level. Wait, did that open up to the left? It did. Okay, so this is one-way trip into a bonus challenge, looks like. And that is not how you do that. I feel like I could have seen that from somewhere safe before jumping in. Here. You can't see the spikes, but you can see that there are ledges to the sides. Yep, and these rock areas just feel a lot like Keen 4, except for the color. That's odd. Is that a door? Cut off. Yeah, it looks like there might be just enough room to sneak by the things on the left side. And that is indeed a door. That is not what you're meant to do. Yeah, that's not exactly safe, but not too dangerous. But whatever's on the right side feels like it's not worth the trouble. Okay, there's one up there. But can I get out of here without dying? It looks like a yes. Okay then. It's not free, but it is lives. Not that way. And yeah, we were up there already, so... guess we'll just exit. Maybe missing a little something down there, but that was most of the level. And here's a rocket ship, which takes us over here. Looks like there's something orbiting there. Yeah, this blocks us, and presumably the big angry-looking face is the final level. Yeah, that's not how rockets rocket. Yeah, whatever. This does feel like a space base. On the one hand, it feels weird that Bloogs would have space travel, but on the other hand, they kind of have to if they came to Earth to kidnap Molly. Could I get a ride on that behind this building? So it looks like that kind of... The question is how I'd get there. So maybe you actually have to go through the angry death face. But yeah, it looks like you could kind of hop on the satellite up there. Now let's try this level for now. The Bloog Bay Base Recreational District, I think it's supposed to be. Yeah, I guess it could be Blue Bay, but... Eat it, Joes. I'm always surprised it doesn't say Eat Joe. Okay, looks like there's nothing else up there. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Look like little guys in UFOs. Yeah, they've got laser beams. But you can shoot them down. And then step on the pilots. Looks like graffiti. There's one of the fireball creatures. What are the little ones? There are bigger ones. I don't think I've actually seen any on... so far, at least on normal difficulty. There was one at the Bean with Bacon Bag Rocket on Expert, or Hard, or whatever it was called. Yeah, did I already explore all I can here? Yeah, we need the yellow gem, which is down there. Okay, so we have to come this way at this point. There's the O-gem, and I think I lucked out with that fireball fading just before I stepped on it. Yeah. That's the same noise the Sky Pest made when you poke out on them, isn't it? Not that guy. Okay, let's explore beyond the yellow door for now. Maybe come back there later. Pretty sure this is new music. Oh, it's a Bloogton Recreation, I think. is now flipped up. Whatever that does probably opens that one bridge we saw somewhere. Yeah, here. Not quite sure what that UFO thought it was doing. There's a little thing stuck in the wall. Looks like the little guy's actually trying to attack, but very much not effective. That looks unfriendly. And my shot goes right through it. I feel like it's time to see what's down here. Okay, just pizza. I feel like that's a fair reward for the risk. And that thing looks like it just bounces around mindlessly, so... Not friendly, but it could be a lot worse. But that, of course, wants to be up. Yeah, are these UFA guys the same as these guys? It is not what I meant to do, but it worked out okay. Yeah, shooting up deals with them pretty well if they're dumb enough to line up with you. Okay, one of the bridge there. There has to be more there, right? They wouldn't have an enemy in a contained space like that just to guard two popsicles. I'm not sure how to deal with them, so let's just do this. Yeah, there's something up here. Okay, not much though. Looks like it's multi-layer bridges. We need to turn one on, turn another one on. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, it was not worth putting myself in danger for what's effectively one coin. Yeah, when you hit your switch, you hit your head on the switch and lose your jump height. Alright, that's better. The bridge up there is connected. I just saw it. And presumably this one will connect the one up above here. Oh, wow. They can shoot at weird angles. They can also get squished pretty easily once they're out of the UFOs. Yep, that puts that bridge up. Another baby Bloog. Pretty sure they have a proper name that isn't that, but... Okay. And I can go right past that. So this will almost certainly go to the secret level. You know, assuming there is a secret level, which I'm pretty sure there is. But yeah, this feels like the last level of the game. I think what I'll do is go clear this other level and leave the secret level and the big scary mouth for last. Bloog-based management districts and a purposeful strut. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen just an ordinary Bloog with no club. Yeah, I don't know if that's background or danger. That's a DIE. Right. Okay, this is ID spelled in standard galactic alphabet in Soda Pop. Down there, we have a DE. Oh, danger. Yeah, that looks dangerous. Yeah, and a D that says the switch should be down, which, yeah. Alright. That box says okay. Not sure if that means it's okay to step on the platforms or what, but it says okay. Wait, wrong save. Yeah, is there anything else down there? There's shots in the ceiling there. But otherwise it looks like no. Yeah, it seems to be safe enough on these platforms. which feels weird, but okay. Unless you do that. Or, I'm not even sure how that worked. I guess I was too close to the edge, and the pogo was just enough to push me off. Yeah, and there I need to be more mindful of timing. No, not save, load. Yeah, because it looks like the laser shooters are not solid. It looks like it's trying to spell out something up there. Probably HI. That just looks vaguely like an up arrow. That's you. I'm not sure how you get to that pizza in the corner. I need to find a way to shut that off. Now, presumably down there is something. Yeah, because I don't think this was open before. Welcome to the danger zone. And accidentally jumping into a hidden passage here. But yeah, that sign says don't go here. Kind of surprised this can't jump out. I was trying to ride it, that didn't work. Yeah, like that. You can do it. It's just not very safe. Come to think of it, I want to know what else is over there. And just for exploration's mode, let's turn on the cheats. Alright, you can get shots there. This goes into a further maze upward, which is more points and shots. Okay, and there I guess you're just supposed to jump over there and bounce on that platform. Not sure how you get a platform. Okay, so apparently one of the switches somewhere turns this on, which you can jump to from there and get up to the left. Yeah, I'm going to assume that sparky looking thing is just background. Down there. And that gets you to the pizza. And that's just sheer dumb luck. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, that's an H and an I and J, maybe? Right? It's supposed to be like an exclamation point. Still not sure how you're supposed to get to that pizza. I'm also not actually seeing a way out. Oh, I need to flip that down. Here. Okay. Cheats off, save, and finish the level. Yeah, that probably extended the bridge up there. It did. Still don't know how you get to that pizza. There, you can jump across here. That wants to be down. You can't actually go up there because there's not enough space. Wait. Okay, there's a spot you can stand in the wall there. Alright then. I can't say that made sense, but it did work. So we have just that left, and it looks like this also. This does feel like it goes somewhere. Kind of like the... what do they call it in Keen Theory? Messy? Yeah, I think they called it Messy. It was like the Loch Ness Monster, but not exactly. Yeah, you grab onto the satellite like a hang glider, which does not make sense, and you land over here. So this will be the secret level. And yeah, we'll check that out next time and then finish the game, and should be able to do that in one episode. And if there's extra time, start again in hard mode, turn on the cheats, and see how it changes things. Like, I know definitely there's an extra mini at the Bean with Bacon Mega Rocket itself, which is kind of unexpected. You're not expecting to run into enemies in your spaceship, but there's also the death trap below that, so you're not really expecting that either. Anyway, yeah, until next week, this has been Airfilm playing Commander Keen in Aliens 8 My Babysitter. You can check the whole series up to this point in the archives, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Mostly older DOS, Super Nintendo, and Atari games. Some more recent stuff when I feel like it. Had a couple of things like Lone Fungus and Rain World. And I'm currently posting on Mondays and Thursdays a Japanese HRPG with those scenes avoided called Lady Night Saga, which is... yeah, it's kind of episodic. Although when like chapters or months they call them. But anyway, yeah, feel free to check out any of that you're interested in.